Hi, I'm Greg Abel. I'm the broker-owner of Avenue Real Estate Group. We get asked a lot since we handle both brokerage, sales. We also handle leasing and property management. Should I be buying investment properties? And then for the people who own investment properties, they're often asking us if they should sell it because we're at a high market value. So today I wanted to cover that question very quickly and just give my 2 cents. But the real answer is, right, nobody knows. So if we can't predict the future, then we can't predict what the best thing to do is. But year over year, investment's always been a good real estate. And I think one of the questions is depends on what you're going to do with the proceeds from your sale. So on our latest blog post, we basically said, the answer to that question is going to depend. And it depends on a few things like, will real estate prices continue to rise? Is this a bubble? Will rental prices rise or fall? Will we see inflation in the U.S.? And why are large investors still buying single-family investments? So let's talk about the bubble that we're seeing. We hear that a lot, that this is a bubble. And I wanted to bring this to everyone's attention if possible. And so this is the graph since 1999. Now, 2005 was about the beginning of the crash. We really felt it in 2008. But as you can see, 2005 to 2008, this is the amount of homes for sale. This is inventory. And really the crash, that bubble was something different. That was propped up by loose underwriting standards, lending that didn't require anybody to show income. There was arguably fraud happening and just different markets manipulating the real estate market. So as we go forward, this is the inventory of homes, and we see this as us today. So this is something completely different than we saw back in 2008. This is not a bubble. This is a true supply-demand crisis. So if we look at St. Louis, let's see if I can zoom out at all. You're going to see for the past 10 years, this is the number of homes sold, and this is the inventory. So it's seasonally adjusted, right? So we see winter, summer, as inventories come and go. But in the past 10 years, we've never seen anything like this. Demand is still up. It's coming up for this year's curve. It was up during COVID, which was strange, right? But our inventory is almost nothing. And that is creating a supply-demand issue, which is creating drastically increasing prices, which many people then say, well, I should sell my investment property. But if you already have it, you're selling to someone else who's picking up your investment right when it's going to the top. So it makes sense that you would buy low, sell high. But the question is this as high as it's going to go? If the market would crash, then yes, selling now would be a good decision. Most of us don't believe this is a bubble and don't believe that we're going to see a crash, that we're going to continue to see this is the new normal and even increasing prices going forward. With new construction shortages, lumber cost, everything else, prices are really aimed just to keep going up. So even holding another year would generate more money for you when you go to sell. Second question is, what will rental prices do? We're seeing the exact same thing in rental prices. So this is rental homes. The number of available is blue, and this line is the number of homes leased. So we're seeing low homes leased, but we are renting things in days with our property management company, and the inventory is almost non-existent. So we have people calling our office every day asking for something to rent. Apartment buildings are full. They're building more apartments every day around St. Louis. And if you're here in St. Louis, you sort of have noticed that. Rental prices are going to go up considerably. There's different reports, 22%. It depends whether you're talking about apartments, single family. We definitely see a spike. We're probably around that 20% year over year increase. We expect that to really go up because we're just now seeing that demand crunch hit. And over the next year or two, rent prices are going to be very high. So then the third question is, what will we see inflation? And I'm not sure that anybody knows the answer to this question. I'm not an economist. I don't know that I'm smart enough to even know if it's coming or not. But I do know, probably if you're going to sell investment property to pay down debt or to just increase your savings, not a great solution. You'd want to reinvest it. So it's weird that we have Bitcoin going up, gold going up, stocks going up, real estate prices going up, rental prices going up. So all assets seem to be going up. And I guess you just have to pick the safest one for your investment. Real estate has some advantages that other investments don't have. And so it leads us to the last question. Why are the large investors still buying single-family homes and real estate? We see this every day when we list a house, that there's what they call iBuyers. Zillow has an iBuyer. It's institutions, hedge funds, all sorts of large investors are buying up real estate at ridiculous prices. And the question is why? Why would they do this? Why would they overpay for homes at the top of the market? And I think you can only assume that they know something that the local investor doesn't know, right? That this is the best place to stash the money as far as their funds. And so we're seeing a lot of that over the past 5 years. But even with prices going up, we're still seeing out of town big groups come in and buy homes and beat out local investors and homeowners, which really bums out the homeowners. But it makes you wonder, what do these large investors know that small investors don't? So my advice to anybody who has real estate is hold. If you have real estate, I don't think now's the time to get rid of it. Rent prices are going to go up, which is increase your cash flow, appreciation. Everything is pointing towards hold on to this thing. It's as good as gold or Bitcoin, depending on which camp you're in. And if there is inflation, it's a hedge against inflation. And if you don't have real estate or you have just one property, it'd be a good time to buy another. And the advantage of real estate is obviously, we have rising rents, you have the tax advantages, rapid appreciation. But it's unique in real estate that you have leverage, the ability to borrow and leverage. So you can't go and say, hey, I'm going to buy Bitcoin. Can I get a loan for 80% of it? You can't go buy gold and get a loan for 80% of it. You can't say, I'm going to invest in the stock market. Can I get a loan for 80% of it? That leverage increases your returns and allows you to buy real estate and then have the renter pay off your leverage. So it's a unique asset that I think there are times to sell. I'm not sure that this is it. I'd revisit it at least in another year. So for those of you that have renters, it might be one more lease renewal and then check the market to see if we're near the top. But I don't see a crash coming. So we may ease in prices, I would guess 4 to 5 years, but I don't think we're going to see a crash. So I hope that answers your question. I hope it wasn't too long. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We're always here. You can always just go to our website, click on the little chat bubble. Feel free to email us, call us, whatever you need to do. Thanks so much.